the second hour here on Fire Your MD Now. Phones are lighting up like a Christmas tree, even though it's March. 866-582-9933. Hey, everybody, we're springing ahead this weekend. How about that? Where does the time go? And in Chicago, we're supposed to get walloped with snow again tonight. What's going on? December, warm. January, warm. February, warm. March, starts to snow. I mean, we really didn't get winter here until the middle of February. Then it got really cold all of a sudden, and then it started to snow, and it hasn't really stopped. I mean, even still, the amount of snow we've got here this year, no big deal at all. But I think it's peculiar that we're getting such late winter weather storms, snowstorms, strange weather. Remember, Dr. Glidden recommends you keep looking up. Keep looking up, ladies and gentlemen. Right back to the phones now, and I believe, let me just make sure I haven't left anybody out. Karen from Casper, Wyoming is calling with a question. Hey, Karen, thanks for waiting. You are live.
Hi, I have a friend that has a 14-month-old baby that was hospitalized in January with RSV, and she continues to still have a cough and the nasal stuffiness. She weighs about 30 pounds, and I was just wondering if there's anything that you recommend that would help her cough and her stuffiness. And supposedly it's from the RSV spell.
Well, is the RSV definitive or presumptive, or don't you know?
Well, I don't know for sure, but when she was hospitalized, her grandma said that, that they said it was RSV.
Well, here's the deal with that, right? I mean,
yeah. Our essential something virus.
Yeah, it's called a respiratory syncytial virus. A respiratory syncytial virus. It's a weird little virus. And just because an MD says it's so doesn't necessarily mean it's so. And I talk all the time about the outdated, old-fashioned, juvenile point of view that they bring to the medical table, and I'm correct. It is. And what I don't talk enough about, because really it would just seem like too much bashing, and I don't think people would be able to handle it, is the amount of incompetence that's also present inside of the medical arena. And just like Nathaniel from Washington was referencing, MDs have very little training in how to practice medicine. They make wrong diagnoses all the time. They screw it up all the time. They come to the wrong conclusions all of the time, even inside of their own dogma. Even inside of their own medical domain, they come up with wrong stuff all of the time. And so just because a medical doctor says it's so doesn't necessarily make it so, especially when they use the word virus, genetic, or autoimmune. When they use the word virus, genetic, or autoimmune, you should immediately question their supposition, because virus, genetic, or autoimmune are the catchphrases that they use to explain away their incompetence. Oh, it's a stomach virus. Well, they have no freaking idea whether it's a stomach virus. Oh, it's an autoimmune condition. Well, why is it autoimmune? Because their teacher told them it was autoimmune and nobody questioned it. Oh, it's genetic. Really, doctor? Which gene is it? It's nonsense. Now, viruses are very real things, right? The influenza virus is a very real thing. This respiratory syncytial virus is a very real thing. But just because the MD says it so doesn't necessarily make it so. But what we have here is a child. How much does this kid weigh, do you know?
30 pounds.
And is the kid in the hospital?
Not now. No, not now.
Okay. So at 30 pounds, in order to support and promote the structure and function of the lungs in a 30-pound human being, here's what I would do every day. I would give 1/2 of a scoop of Beyond Tangy Tangerine in 8 ounces of water twice a day. I do 1/2 of a scoop of Beyond Tangy Tangerine in 8 ounces of water once a day. I would do 1/2 of a tablespoon, which I think is a teaspoon. I would do 1 teaspoon of the Osteo FX Plus in a little bit of orange juice twice a day. I would do 1 teaspoon of the Osteo FX Plus in a little bit of orange juice twice a day and I would do 3 EFA plus capsules a day. 3 EFA plus capsules a day. There's no way a 30-year-old child is going to swallow an EFA capsule. So you want to pierce the gel cap with a pin, sterilize a needle with a match, pierce the little gel cap, squeeze the oil out onto your finger and let the child suck the oil off your finger, or put it into yogurt, put it into applesauce, put it on his food. I want you to get 3 capsules of the EFAs into his body every day. And for the icing on the cake, I would give 1/2 of a selenium capsule, 1/2 of a selenium capsule in a little bit of water, a little bit of juice, a little bit of applesauce, a little bit of yogurt twice a day. And by the way, you can also sprinkle the Beyond Tangy Tangerine dose, and in this case it would be 1/2 scoop, onto yogurt. Mix it into the yogurt and feed the child the yogurt. That's an excellent way to do it. Basically what we're doing here is giving the child nutrition which supports and promotes the optimal structure and function of the respiratory system, which is what the child needs here. I would also have the mother, if she's breastfeeding, eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats from her body, and I would get her on board with the Healthy Start Pack and selenium appropriate for body weight. That's what I would do. I would have everybody in the family, including the child, be gluten-free yesterday. And I would emphasize a diet that's high in protein, because the child's immune system, your immune system, my immune system, everybody's immune system is made from protein. So when the immune system is working overtime, we give, the Jewish antibiotic, chicken soup. That's one of the reasons why chicken soup works so well, because it's a really easy to absorb protein. So you can't go wrong with protein with someone whose immune system is working to fight off a virus. Maybe there's a virus there, maybe not, but that's how I would handle this one day at a time. So check it out, do the best that you can, and call me back with a report. I look forward to hearing what goes on here, and I look forward to people calling me back and giving me a report. Thank you so much, Karen, for everything that you do. Keep up the good work. This is what it comes down to, folks. MDs, bless their hearts. I'm not bashing them. I'm bashing the profession. And why am I bashing the profession? I'm not even bashing the profession. I'm just showing what they do. I'm pulling back the curtain, saying, hey, look, they stink at what they do. They do. I'm just showing you what's going on here. I'm not causing it. I don't have any prejudice before the fact. I don't have any a priori built-in prejudice. I'm a big fan of what they do when what they do works. Hey, I'm a big fan of Novocaine. I'm a big fan of morphine when morphine's indicated. You bet I am, and you would be too. If you had a bullet in your leg, you'd be a big fan of morphine too. You'd be a big fan of the newest, latest, greatest, easiest surgical procedure. If you really needed surgery, you'd love that stuff. Because, they're good at certain things. But for most things, they stink. Not only do they stink, but they're the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. They're the leading cause of death, and they are driving the economy into the freaking ditch. You think I'm just going to stand around and not say anything about that? If you were in a movie theater, if you were on a cruise ship, you're on a cruise ship, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're up on the deck. You're the only one that's awake besides the captain. The captain's looking forward, and you're looking in the reverse, and you see a giant freighter bearing down on the cruise ship at 25 knots, and the captain doesn't see it. What are you going to do? Are you going to go back to your stateroom and sleep it off? No. You're going to ring the alarms. You're going to yell. You're going to light something on fire, right? Get somebody's attention. You're going to say, hey, we're going to die. We're going to sink. We're going to die. Pay attention. That's my job. That's what I'm doing. We're going to die. What do you mean, going to die? We are dying. Needlessly. Lack of knowledge. The problem here isn't that the medical system needs to be tweaked. The problem here isn't that the medical system needs to be fine-tuned. The problem here is the medical system needs to be abandoned because it doesn't work. The system doesn't need to be tweaked. The system needs to be rejected, and that's what we do. We're going to teach you how to become your own doctor. We're going to teach you science-based, clinically verified methods of health recovery. And so what do? Number 1, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Everybody must stop eating the 10 bad foods. Number 2, take 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Number 3, take 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. Stop at 4 bottles a month. Even if you're 300 pounds, 250 pounds, I only want you to do 4 bottles a month of that. Start salting your food so that it tastes good. These are the first things to do. You just do these things. Start salting your food with iodized table salt so that it tastes good. Eliminate the 10 bad foods from your diet. Take the Healthy Start Pack and selenium appropriate for your body weight. And start to educate yourself about something called the ORAC value of food. O-R-A-C. Capital O, capital R, capital A, capital C. The ORAC value of food. What's that? That's the antioxidant capacity of the food that you're eating. And your goal is to secure and ingest a minimum of 20,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 20,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 1 healthy start pack appropriate for 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and complete abstinence from the 10 bad foods will change your life. You don't believe me? Well, you should. I've got 24 years of clinical experience. I know of which I speak, but you don't have to believe me. Believe your body. Believe your own experience. Give this program a try. Give 90 for Life a try for 90 days. See what type of a difference it makes in your own body. See how it feels. And then once you see that we're telling the truth, once your energy comes back and your mood comes back and your sleep gets better and everything starts to brighten up and improve, then we'll show you how to show this message to everyone in your life. And guess what? We will pay you to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition, and it does not get better than that. Nah. Just can't help singing along with that song. I just can't do it. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, 866-582-9933. Dialing it in for you here right now. It looks like Pat from Houston, Texas is up. Hey, Pat, welcome aboard. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Pat, you're down there in Texas, right?
Yes.
All right. Do you have spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle?
No, but I have some cowboy boots.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Welcome aboard, Pat. How can I help?
2 things. One, my son, and one, me.
All right.
My son is prone to having boils, and now he looks like he has a really ugly one on his face, and he's talking about going to a plastic surgeon.
Ouch.
And
well, all right.
He says it feels hard.
Yeah, I bet it does. How old's your son?
40-something.
Yeah, 40. How old are you?
69.
69? You don't sound a day over 30. Come on now.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, especially with sickle cell.
So you're a sickle cell survivor, right?
I am that.
All right, very good. Hey, Pat, do me a favor and turn the computer down or mute the volume because we're getting some feedback here, okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you do that for me? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, it's not so much. Yeah, it's better now. Good girl.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good. So here's what the boil formation, which is like really bad acne, by the way, for the listening audience. The main causative factor there is blood sugar that's gone run amok. And when blood sugar lingers too long in your blood, sugar lingers too long in your blood because your body has lost the ability to process sugar efficiently, all kinds of things start to grow in the body, or bacteria specifically and yeast specifically get a chance to grow in the body. Why? Because they feed on sugar, and when there's sugar lingering in the blood, they feed on it. And, this is the main cause of acne, adult acne anyway, and consistent boil formation. So the recommendation would be per month, 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, complete abstinence from the 10 bad foods. And also, what I would do for 3 months in a row is I would eliminate any extracurricular sugar from my diet, no extra sugar. So that means no fruit juice, no desserts, no ice cream, no honey, no molasses, no maple syrup, no agave. You can have glycemic index-friendly sugars or sugar substitutes like xylitol or stevia, but I would recommend he just avoid sugar like the plague and take the healthy blood sugar packs, and also, of course, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Now, if that's too rich for the blood, then what you can do is 1 bottle of the plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of the plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of the sweeties per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's kind of like the poor man's blood sugar. Let's support and promote the structure, the function of the blood sugar. That's a really simple way to do it, kind of a down and dirty way to do it. The healthy blood sugar pack is a better way to do it. I don't know what the budget is. I have no idea, but either one of those methods should produce specific and measurable, noticeable results. There's one more thing he can do, or anybody that's suffering with boils or acne. There's a company that Youngevity subsumed, and you can buy the products online, through your Youngevity account. You get bonus volume attached to it. The company is called PureWorks, and PureWorks has an antibacterial soap. They have an antibacterial cream. They have antibacterial sprays and oil-based foaming hand cleansers. I would get the PureWorks soap, have him wash his face and body with it instead of normal soap, and then I would get the PureWorks foam and have him put a couple of squirts into his hands and then rub it on his face 3 times a day. I would coat the face with the PureWorks foam 3 times a day, plus the healthy blood sugar pack, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods, plus go sugar-free for 90 days, and the body will then rally and fix itself, and you can never unsurgery something, right? So my recommendation is, holy smokes, avoid the scalpel. He can always get plastic surgery for this. I would have him try this approach for 90 days before he even thinks about surgery, and that's always a good recipe for health. Hey, Pat, we're up against the hard break. Stick with me. I'll come back to you when we come back, and I'll finish up, see what you've got else going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Pat from Houston, Texas, and she's got cowboy boots. Yes, she does, but no spurs. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Please go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the Youngevity button and join us. We need your help in bringing this message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition to as many people as will listen. And guess what? We're going to pay you to help us, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Now, we're talking to Pat from Houston, Texas. She is a sickle cell survivor. Now, Pat, I think I've dialed it in for your 40-year-old son. How can I help you?
I have a rash it looks like a rash on my left ankle, and it's about 2 inches wide by 1 inch, and it's brown, and it's itchy, and it's crusty, like scaly, and it seems to be getting worse, and nothing I've seemed to be able to do has worked so far.
Okay. Have you been, how long have you had this?
About 2 weeks now, and when I saw a doctor, he said it looked like contact dermatitis, and I just blew that off, and he said use some steroids on it. I blew that off too. And I've been putting tea tree oil and grapeseed oil on it, and it does help to cut down on the itching, but and now I'm kind of itching other places that feels like an allergic reaction, but they feel like 2 different things.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, have you changed anything up in your life, like soaps or perfumes or shampoos or anything that's different now than there was before?
No, but I did. I had a problem with BTT, and I was using Tropical Plus, So I did the Tropical Plus every day, and I started adding about a half a scoop of BTT because I really wanted to get back to it. And that's the only thing I can think of that I've done, internally that was different.
Yeah, so that's I don't think that's the cause of the crusty rash, but that probably is related to this, other itching that you're experiencing in different parts of your body, because the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, in addition to having essential nutrients in it and extremely absorbable, sophisticated formulas, has 115 fruits and vegetables and 115 different proteins of fruits and vegetables. And we have allergic reactions to protein. So, you're probably allergic to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, regretfully. Now, what this means is I want you to stop it for 6 months. Just don't have the Beyond Tangy Tangerine for 6 months. Switch it out to the Tropical Plus or the Ultimate Classic. You have to find a workaround for this for about 6 to 9 months while you are 100% drop dead, like your life depended on it, avoiding gluten. Because from our point of view, it's the gluten molecule, the gluten protein, which is the main generative force behind the development of any type of an allergic reaction. So avoid gluten because you have to. Eliminate the Beyond Tangy Tangerine because you must. Switch it out to an analog, the Tropical Plus or the Ultimate Classic, for at least 6 months. And then you can add the Beyond Tangy Tangerine back to your body, because you can recover from a food allergy if you fix the cause. And from our point of view, the cause of food allergies is a facultative breakdown in the villi, inflammation, destruction, and a loss of function and structure, quite frankly, to the intestinal villi. A thing that you might want to add to your program to augment what you're already doing to support and promote the function of your digestive tract would be the root beer belly, which is the probiotics that your intestinal tract needs to be healthy. I would do a package of root beer belly once a day. It's best if you take that between meals, one package of root beer belly between meals. And in order to support and promote the structure, in this case of the skin, to see if you can't get on the other side of that crusty rash, I would take, for 7 days, I would take 12 EFA plus a day, or 12 EFAs. I would do 4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch, 4 with dinner, and I would also add glucogel into the mix. I would take 1 glucogel per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if you're 150 pounds, take 15 glucogel a day, 5 with breakfast, 5 with lunch, 5 with dinner. Why? Because glucogel provides the sulfur-bearing molecules that the skin needs to be healthy, and as does the essential fatty acids. So I would double down on the glucogel and the EFA or the EFA plus. That's how I would handle this. And by the way, how many selenium are you doing a day, Pat? How many selenium are you doing? How much do you weigh?
100.
Okay. And you're okay with 6 selenium? It's not giving you any negative reactions, right?
None that I can tell.
All right. Because of the history of the sickle cell, I would try 9 selenium a day. If it's in the budget, I would go up to 9 selenium a day, because in order to support and promote the structure and function of the red blood cells, selenium is extremely necessary. I would rather err with too much selenium than not enough. And if you have too much selenium in your body, your breath will start to smell fishy, or your fingernails will start to get funky, little cracks, or they get kind of brittle, or your hair starts falling out in strands. So if any of those 3 things happen, just back off on the selenium dose. But I would have no problem with taking 9 selenium a day, 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, and 3 with dinner, even at 100 pounds, just because of the presence of sickle cell. So dial all that stuff in, Pat, and go get some spurs, why don't you? For goodness sake, you're down there in Texas. I appreciate the phone call. I appreciate everything that you do. You are the last best hope your friends and family and church members have to live a long and healthy life. So get out there and keep lending out the CDs and inviting to events. Thank you so much for the call. Shirley is up next. I'm from Santa Cruz in California. All right, Shirley, we're all jealous. Thanks for the call. How can I help you? Are live.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden. I appreciate your radio show.
Yeah, thanks, Shirley. It's very kind.
Well, I have an 8-year-old grandson, and he still wets the bed. Now,
yeah, okay.
I did it until I was about 7 or 8, and his father did also, my son-in-law. But, so is there anything that we could do for him?
Well, what was it that snapped you out of it, or was it too long ago for you to remember?
I just finally stopped.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting thing to talk about. You would think that we would have this one dialed in, but we don't. And as far as I'm concerned, nobody has come up with, the root cause of a bedwetting thing. Sometimes it has to do with a problem with the sleep cycle, that, you're sleeping so deeply that your body just doesn't wake up when it needs to.
I think that's it, because they got one of those monitors that you put on, and it buzzes. Well, he sleeps through the buzz.
Yeah, well, holy smokes, the kid needs his sleep. What can I say? Yeah, well, so look, what do we do when we come up against something that we don't know? Like I know what to do for congestive heart failure. I know what to do for type 2 diabetes. I know what to do for asthma. I know what to do for arthritis. I know what to do for obesity, right? We know what to do to support and promote the structure and function of different parts of the body associated with those chronic disease diagnoses. But when we come up against something that we don't know what to do, and maybe Wallach does, I'd have to ask him about this. It's remarkable to me that I haven't asked him this. But it doesn't matter, because what we do when we come up against something that we're a little in the dark about is we fall back on our foundation principles. And this is the most, what's the best word? The magnificent thing, I think, about the holistic method here is we don't have to be the smartest person in class. All we have to know is that the body knows how to fix itself. All that we have to know is that the body has inherent built-in God-given wisdom. The body has inherent built-in natural wisdom, that the body is wise. And so what do? Well, we give the body the stuff that it needs to fix itself, stop eating food that's hurting it, and get the heck out of the way and let the body fix itself. And so that's what I'm going to recommend you do here. Really, the only thing that I would do is I would eliminate the 10 bad foods from the child's diet. I would give him 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. Encourage his parents to start salting his food and giving him butter and full-fat milk and dairy products, if dairy products are appropriate for this child. A lot of eggs, a lot of butter, a lot of salt, plus the Healthy Start Pack, plus the selenium, and see what happens. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk to Dr. Wallach about this and see if he has any experience with it. I'm sure that he does. But this would, nonetheless, right, if Wallach has anything else to add to this, it would be as an add-on to this basic foundation program that everybody gets. So that's how I would start with this, Shirley. Clean up his diet. Give him 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month and 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. And you can get that info by contacting the folks in my back office at 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Of course, like the fellow said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Oftentimes, however, and it is the majority rather than the minority of children who we give this stuff to, they love it. I mean, they go to it, take to it like a duck to water. You don't have to force it down their throats. It tastes good. They look forward to it. They feel better when they take it. But if there is a problem, you can get creative about it. You can make popsicles out of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Dissolve the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in water and put it in those popsicle molds and freeze it. Add a little bit of honey to it. Add a little bit of cinnamon to it. Add whatever you want to make it taste good. Some type of fruit juice if the child doesn't like the way it tastes. You can put it in yogurt if the child doesn't like the way that it tastes. The Osteo FX Plus, the white liquid calcium, You can mix that with orange juice. Tastes exactly like a creamsicle when you do that. Or you can freeze that also into a little creamsicle popsicle, right? So if the child fusses and moans about it, then you have to get creative. But I'm telling you, one of the other, unsung positive things here about this approach is that most kids take to these supplements like a duck to water. They just love how they feel, they love how it tastes, and life is good. So that's how I would handle that, Shirley. Give him the Healthy Start Pack, the selenium, clean up his diet, and call me back with a report. And meanwhile, I'm going to talk to the man who knows it all, Dr. Wallach, and I'll have a report tomorrow on the radio, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, and I'll get Dr. Wallach's take on this. Shirley, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. Now keep up the good work down there in Santa Cruz. And yes, I am jealous. One of the most beautiful places on the planet. She lives there, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love this great country of ours. Listen, folks, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. The live call-in number here, 866-582-9933, and the podcast number, or the number to call to get more information about the health opportunity or the business opportunity, toll-free, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Visit the website, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my free newsletter. Sign up for my $17 a month health recovery webinar series. Tonight's webinar, Introduction to Longevity. If you're a Longevity member, don't forget it's tonight, 8 o'clock. Check it out. Dial it in. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden coming back with you. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. Thank you so much for logging in today and every day. We are all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. And, one of the great things about a situation like this is that because it's a group effort, because it's a grassroots coalition of the concerned, this movement takes on a life of its own. And, of course, we all, we're fans of the Kevin Costner movie Field of Dreams and Build It and They Will Come, right? Well, listen, I've got to tell you it's true. It works. And this is one of the sweetest things about a network business is that once you get involved in this and jump into this water, you just immerse yourself in this community. You become a Longevity member, really start to apply yourself with the simple system, really start to make a noise, make a splash, make a difference in your community. All kinds of things happen. And people come into your sphere, people come into your orbit, people come into your world that, number one, you never, ever, ever would have met before, and that, number two, you couldn't have found these people if you held, a million job interviews. You never would have found exactly the right person for the job, but when you're involved in a cause, things show up. Well, I got news for you. If you're a fan of fireyourmdnow.com, if you follow us on Twitter, if you follow the blog, which reports on the radio stuff that we do, gives you a nice little idea of what we do. It gives you a concise breakdown of the radio show of that day. Well, the person who's responsible for that, the person who is sitting at her home right now typing furiously, making all of that happen, her name is Eleanor James, and as God is my witness, if I wanted to, I could not have found a better person, more suited to the task, more articulate, more elegant, more funny, more concise than Eleanor James. And this is what happens when you build it. They will come. We're going to give a great big Longevity, Dr. Glidden, Fire Your MD round of applause for the woman who makes it work in the back office, Eleanor James. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. I built it, and she showed up. Really, I could have held job interviews. I never would have got someone this talented. Are you kidding me? This is one of the best things that happened to fireyourmdnow.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on the blog. Follow us on Facebook. It's all Eleanor James who's doing it, typing away furiously. And I got to love the support. I got to love what happens here. And listen, you're going to love it too. And this is why what we do is so special. And this is why what we do is so fun. Because you're going to get to meet people like this. You never would have met people like this before. You never would have. It just doesn't happen in normal day-to-day life. But I got to tell you something. Once you get tapped into a revolution of sorts, once you get tapped into a group of people who are of the same mind, a group of people who are motivated, a group of people who have their community's best interests at heart, magic happens. And I mean magic happens. Fortune favors the bold, right? You'll never know. You'll never know what happens unless you try. So go out there on a limb. For goodness sake, it's not even going out there on a limb. If you become a longevity person, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? What's the worst thing? You're going to lose $10, right? $10. And, you know, all right, maybe each CD costs $3, and I'm going to have you buy 10 CDs, so that's $30 plus $10. You're going to lose $40 plus postage. All right, $45. That's the worst possible thing that could happen. For goodness sake, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't even going out on a limb. This is just trying something different, trying something new. Try it. You're going to love what happens. You're going to have no idea what happens. What did the fellow say? How do you make God laugh? You know, tell him, tell her your future plans. Tell God your future plans, and God will laugh their you-know-what off, because you don't know what you don't know. And when you get involved with a grassroots coalition of the informed, magic happens. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, giving it up for Eleanor James in the back office, making it work on Twitter, making it work on Facebook, and making it work on our blog. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. I'll see you tomorrow. One more round of applause for Eleanor.